Good afternoon to everyone that's listening to us this afternoon. We are the Coxes, and this is another edutainment This is another edutainment edition of the Liquid Green Health Show, bringing you real conversation focused on your mind, your body, and of course, your overall well-being. Now, before we get into it, I just want to once again make a quick note. Janet and I, we're not medical professionals. We're not medical doctors. We're here,
especially you, right?
Just for general awareness and everyday understanding. Yes, especially for me. If you're dealing with any ongoing or serious health condition, folks, we encourage you to please speak with your healthcare professional and get all of your questions answered. Today, we will be stepping into the world of GLP-1 medications like Ozempic and Wegovy, and of course, Mounjaro. Last week, we started with a plan. We had a plan last week, right, to discuss certain points about these medications, but we also had a guest.
Well, we got to some of the plans because while talking to Juliette, so many things she mentioned, it happened, it just brought back some of the notes that we had.
Yeah.
So this week, really, for people who are perhaps listening for the first time, you will hear some things repeated, but as they say, repetition is not a bad thing, right?
Okay. So you want to tell our guests who?
Yes, Juliette.
Tell our audience who our guest
is. The beautiful Juliette, and I'm glad we're on camera, Juliette, so everybody can see you. And even though we're not live on YouTube,
we'll be putting you there.
It will be posted.
Yes.
So at least we know we will have at least one person listening, and that's your mom, right? Your mom. At least we'll have an audience of one for sure. Okay. Yeah. Now, Juliette hails from a French and Jamaican heritage. And I believe it's good how you're able to maintain affiliation with both cultures, right?
Of course, yes.
You didn't send me a bio, no. So I asked I asked Lisa, who is our family birthday historian, right? I asked Lisa, I said, Lisa, send me something on Juliette. And then I paraphrase it. So this is what your darling Aunt Lisa said. She's a costume designer who specializes in detailed recreations from comics, anime, fantasy, and Disney, among others.
Wow.
And her craftsmanship rivals top-tier industry talent. And I agree with her. And I have no idea, Juliette, why you're not making money doing that, because you're such an expert. Anyway, she attends multiple conventions each year, constantly drawing inspiration from the world she loves. So that was it. And Juliette, we know you're a dedicated pop culture enthusiast. You're always ready for new adventures, especially with those crazy like-minded cousins of yours, right? Yes. I mean, you guys have done quite a few things, trips, crazy stuff. Yeah. Anyway, last week you were able on short notice, and I was really happy you were able to share your personal weight loss journey with us here on the Liquid Green Health Show. And thank you for coming back this Sunday as we continue the conversation. And as usual, we don't pre-plan. We haven't spent hours prepping you or anything. So we're meeting and we'll just, as we do normally, we'll just talk and have a discussion. So have you gained any weight this week?
Yes.
That question was not pre-planned. That just came out.
At all.
So you have, okay.
Like a pound or two, but
a pound or two.
Depends what you eat, drink at that day. If you went to the bathroom or something, which is water.
That means you're aging well.
Probably. Thank you.
But the whole idea with these drugs. So, Frederick, where do you want to start?
Well, we know that the drugs, they mimic your natural hormone.
Right. The GLP-1.
Yeah, the GLP-1.
Which is glucagon. It's a glucagon-like peptide.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, by the way, before we start, there is peptides. What I realize is that if somebody, for example, did not want to go and take one of the GLP-1 drugs. There are peptides that are available by themselves, different types of peptides. And for example, and I just happened to see this in one of the things I was looking at, and it says,
You got it there?
oh, okay, you can take a peptide. This is a single dose peptide or a single molecule, whatever it is, for
Weight loss.
metabolic health. Those are the GLP-1s, right? But you can have something specific for like tissue repair and healing. You can have a specific peptide for skin, something you take just to help your skin, or something, Frederick, which for, I know the audience will be interested in this one, for sexual health, right? There's a peptide that can specifically target sexual health, and of course for chronic disease management, right?
Wow.
So you can get peptides not necessarily by taking the drug, right? They're different. And
There's a wide range,
something for
everything from
gastrointestinal distress, hormonal and structural muscle loss, and so many other
the world of medicine have really advanced.
Yes.
So everything from aging to libido boost to everything. You can take I don't want to say a drug or a medication, just call it a hormone or a peptide.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And as I was saying, reminding somebody, because I firmly believe this, Juliette, you're young, but at our age, I believe, Gary, I'm including you in this one. If we can live at least 9 more years healthy, I say this all the time.
Yeah.
If we can manage to eke out 9 years more of healthy living, then the rest will be up to AI. Because you're going to get, the pacemakers are going to be improved, the lung, everything for transplants.
Yep.
They're moving at the speed of
Just name it.
Some physics.
Yeah, just name it. We'll give you a peptide for that.
Not peptide, just the inventions and the speed of which they're going to be able to experiment and tests, and the pharmaceuticals are going to be able to come up. Instead of taking 50 years to test one drug, they probably can take 2.
But you know what's the drawback to that? Science is so far advanced to the body catching up and being able to use these drugs effectively, these medications effectively.
So they will have
Right.
living guinea pigs, because we are going to be the guinea pigs, because what does everybody want now? Our age, it's all about anti-aging, this, etc. Right?
Yeah, but what I'm
So
saying, the body still takes years to catch up to modern science. So even though these creations are there, they're good, they're working, you're still gonna have a lag.
Well, of course,
Right.
but even the GLP drugs,
Yeah.
they are talking about something called RODA. I didn't do any research on it, but apparently it's the next big one that's coming. And this is going to be like the master GLP, right? Because it's going to be so great, so effective, so easy to take that everybody's going to want to be on it.
Yeah, but again, it comes back to what I'm trying to say is, with all of these, new technology, new medications that's coming out, and the next one is always better than what we had before.
Of course, it's called progress.
Yeah, like again, the body still is going to take a while.
I don't
Years to catch up.
understand. Julia, do you understand what he's saying?
Yes.
Okay, what is he saying? What are you saying? I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm probably not explaining it properly. Science is so far ahead
Yes.
of the human body per se, that even though all of these drugs are supposedly good, they can do wonderful things, it still is going to take years before the body is going to become compatible to this.
They will kill a lot, but that has always happened. Anything new, they always kill quite a few people before they get the right.
Yeah,
Yes.
So I hear, okay.
because the body is always lagging behind.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's always in a test period. So
Yeah.
they experiment and they kill a few people and then they perfect it.
But then eventually
And
Right.
it's going to take
yeah.
generations as new generations come up. A period of adaptability has to take place,
Yes.
and
Okay.
by the time they adapt, a new drug comes out. So
All right. So
anyway, these drugs, as we know, they were created for specific use, really to help people with a diabetic condition, and eventually, from after several, months or whatever, people are beginning to find out that these drugs are doing much more than were intended.
Yeah.
Right. Specifically in the weight loss area.
Right. Because the GLP-1 drug is actually something that's created in the gut, right? When you eat and then what happens is that with the synthetic form, the one that they made, the GLP, it actually lasted longer than the natural GLP that was produced in the body, right? And that's why it works. And something I heard is that, well, I'll wait until we get to that section about side effects.
Yeah.
Juliette, please chime in. Anytime you have something that comes to mind, chime in and let me know, especially as it
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So what do they actually do, Frederick?
Well, it fools the body.
Right.
It mimics the natural excuse me. It mimics the natural workings of the body by sending a message to the brain, and then the brain says, "Okay, I've had enough." The brain sends the message back to the body, "You've had enough to eat. Stop eating," and you feel satiated.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Stop eating.
You stop eating.
Yes.
Right.
It basically
Mhm.
does what you're supposed to do, but without thinking about it. Like when
Right.
you've eaten too much and you don't need to eat more, well, the medicine will just not make you not want to have it instead of you disciplining yourself. But it's not a miracle drug either because it doesn't last. There's certain dose of respect and stuff like that. But
For you, Juliette, when you got on
yeah.
it, how long did it take before you actually started seeing? Like after dose 1, did you
Yeah.
see any difference? Did you feel any difference? How long did it take before it actually started working?
I think a week.
Oh, really?
A week, not even, or during the end of that
Mhm.
week.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's also stuff that I couldn't eat anymore. And for example, a bone marrow, the fat.
Right.
I
Okay.
love bone marrow, it's
Right.
delicious.
And it's so good for you.
But it was I ate the spoon and then I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
And the Wagyu meat is a fatty part of the Japanese steak with a lot of fatty parts, and
Mhm.
it was my favorite meat, and I was so sad because I didn't want to eat it anymore.
What was it called? What's it called?
Wagyu
Wagyu. Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
or anything with
Yeah,
fat.
with the fat. Okay, like a
Yeah,
lean, like a steak, the fatty steak, right?
yeah, but the real fat part,
The
Okay.
marble, the
the
marble in the
jelly,
stick.
yeah, yeah,
But
The
I
marble in the
that.
stick.
have a problem with
Like the bone marrow, but
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
used to
What
love
about
all
things
that, and I
like
couldn't
cheese?
eat it.
Yeah. What about things like cheesecake? Did you ever crave that after, or the things that you like, the desserts and stuff? Were you into that before?
Yes, no, it never stopped me. Love ice cream and
Okay. So
cheese
you
and stuff
you
like
still
that.
were
I'll
able
just
to
eat
eat that.
less.
Okay.
Yeah, I just ate less.
Yes.
And it's not that I didn't want it anymore. I wanted less of it, but I
Mhm.
still was craving it sometimes.
Okay.
'Cause-
But the
yeah.
thing is, you would eat less because you would feel full faster. Because now,
Yes.
if Frederick has a bowl of ice cream, he can't have one bowl. He has to
Yeah.
have two bowls.
That's not true.
Or you have one giant bowl of ice cream, right? I will have a small bowl and then I'll go back for a small second
Yeah.
bowl. So I'm still
Yeah.
having two bowls. Anyway,
What is good too is alcohol.
yeah,
I will
yeah,
still have a
You get
glass of wine, but I would have less. Also, you would be drunk faster too.
faster.
So you
Okay,
do not want more than you
okay.
don't drink like you used to. So I think that's also beneficial in the way that you drink. It reduces your alcohol intake.
But did the doctors say you shouldn't be drinking when you take this, or does
I
it?
asked the question. I did ask. He said, "No, it's fine. Maybe you won't even want to drink anymore."
Okay.
He did say that, yes.
Wow.
So it really
Okay.
slows down a lot of things.
Yes, yeah.
You're craving for food, and it also slows down your craving for other things as well, like
Your appetite.
socializing and all sorts of stuff.
So one thing I'm doing right now is because I'm going to be talking to my endocrinologist on Tuesday. She's the one I had spoken to about the drug, the Wegovy. And she actually offered it to me, and I said, let me try this calorie in, calorie out thing first. And then, of course, she gave me an app. The app was, what was the app? My Fitness Pal.
Yes, I know
Counts
it.
your calories, right?
Yes,
Guess
yep.
what? I didn't do it. So
it's because you can't count.
my phone was too old and it was not compatible with it, so I couldn't do it. But
Oh,
what I have started doing is just 3 days, 3 days, folks. If you're listening, honestly, when I say I'm trying, summer is coming and I'm trying to get back. I don't want to spend money on new clothes. And I have a lot of clothes that, like this thing that I'm wearing was from my dear departed darling sister Wilma, sister-in-law Wilma. And I have a lot. And Juliette, honestly, I don't need to buy any clothes. I just need to lose 10 pounds. You know how that is, right? So this
yes.
week, Frederick, I start. This today is the third day, and I have lost 3 pounds. I have eaten one big meal a day. So I didn't cut out anything. I had jello and ice cream. I had soup. I had a hamburger, a big juicy hamburger. I had
But you have the soup, so it's okay.
I had a soup and I had a big salad.
Notice
Right?
I'm suppressing a laugh here, okay?
I had a salad, and then I did not eat anything else. That was like from 1 o'clock one day until 1 o'clock the next day.
But I have to
And
tell
it
you,
was
Juliette,
good.
I have to
I
tell
went to the
you,
gym and everything, right? So
I have
I
to
think that also worked.
I have to say this. It is the first time that I've noticed,
Discipline.
discipline in
Ah,
somebody.
Mhm.
First time.
So
let's see.
cravings, less cravings.
Let's see how long it's gonna last. Like, I mean, I'm hearing some results. I'm not seeing it yet, but I'm hearing that I've lost a pound here. I've lost, in the last few days. So let's see what happens.
Yes, because
Sustainability is what it is.
Frederick, as we've said, and I mentioned this last week, for over the last 60 years, we have been told, or people have been trying, because that's when the weight loss thing has become so prominent, right?
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut, which you like to say.
Yeah.
Don't eat ultra processed foods.
Don't listen to the food
Now,
noise.
go to the supermarket. No matter how hard you try, you're going to find one ultra processed food that you're going to pick out.
Yeah.
Whether it's, Miss Vicky's chips or what. It says don't cheat, like, calories in, calories out, exercise. But people who do everything right, they don't get the results. And I love that ad. It was from males, and it said, if you could have done it, you would have done it already.
Yeah, that's a weight
Plus,
loss.
Frederick, there are the environmental factors,
Yeah,
the hormone
big time.
disruptors.
Yes.
Right? Epigenetics.
Mhm.
You inherited this from your
Yep.
folks.
Yep.
Stress, especially if you have more than one kid.
Yeah.
Or if you have a troubled teenager, right? Stress.
There's a lot of factors.
Women, the drop in estrogen, and the visceral fat that everybody's fighting, that controls your waistline. And the
Yep.
biggest of all is sleep. Juliet, how did you sleep when you were on this drug? Did it help you with sleep?
I don't think it changed anything in my sleep. But once again, it's my experience. But it was normal, like usual. I don't
And
see any
generally,
difference in our. I'm sorry.
Generally, are you a good sleeper or not?
Not a bad sleeper, but yeah, I sleep all right.
You go to bed what time? Do you go to bed? Do you get your 8 hours, is what I'm trying to say. Do you get
Yes,
your
I
8 hours?
do.
Okay.
I do get my 8 hours. Yep.
Yeah, that's a problem with us, you would say.
Yeah.
But I do not have kids and I
Yeah.
don't work right now, so that's why.
That's coming soon.
Yep.
Because you would have to get off these drugs before you even tried, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So a very important point is we were trying to have kids, but they said to not try while I was taking the medication because it could lead to birth defects or some other stuff that would not be good for our baby. So,
Okay.
and they
Great.
don't even know everything that it could do yet, so they just
Yeah.
advise to not.
Yeah.
How long after you've been on the medication do they recommend if you were trying to become pregnant? How long after do they recommend?
So my doctor said it would be fine once it's done, but
So
the
there isn't a
fertility
washout.
clinic did say to be safe would be more like 3 months after you stop.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
be real. So I would say after 3 months to be really safe. But
Because you have to have
Must have a
that
washout
down period. Yeah.
yeah, to give me that it really evacuate your system.
Yeah. So one of the metabolic things it does, Frederick, is the blood sugar. Talk about that. What is that?
Well, it's supposed to stabilize the blood sugar, right? It reduces things like spikes and crashes and stuff like that, especially, and it's especially helpful for people who are type 2 diabetics.
Yeah, that's what it was originally made
Yeah,
for.
and it is supposed to improve insulin sensitivity and get rid of things like inflammation and stuff like that, which contributes to insulin resistance.
Yes.
And those are the kind of things that it does.
Yeah.
And that really helps.
Because as we were talking to Gary before, and Gary, you had mentioned that metformin was the drug of choice.
Yes, usually.
Before this came on board, right?
Yes.
What can you tell us about metformin? Did you take metformin, Julia?
Yes, I did. I did take metformin.
Okay. And so you had to stop that before you started this, right?
Nope, took it both at the same time.
Really?
At the same time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was pre-diabetic, but I was also had PCOS, so that's why
What's
they
that?
prescribed polycystic ovarian. I forget exactly,
Okay.
but yeah, it's
But
PCOS.
you took care of all of that. That's all gone.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but I still have to run some tests and see how it is where it's at right now. But it was also for fertility, it was an issue. But I did take the metformin while I was taking the Zepbound, the GLP-1 that I took. And maybe I took it too long that didn't see my body was used to it.
Right.
But I didn't have any effects.
Yes, we'll talk about that. I know I have something written about that later on.
Okay.
And now with the inflammation, one of the people we researched, I think her name was McCall. I forget her name. Anyway, I have it written down here somewhere. What she said is that McPherson, yes. McCall McPherson. Is that the test for inflammation from the very first needle, they noticed that inflammation was drastically reduced, right? That's why I asked how long before you started seeing any benefits. So this thing starts immediately. I know I watched something with Oprah, and Oprah wrote a book, Enough, and where she was talking about her weight loss journey. And she had one of the GLP specialists that co-authored that with her. And what she was saying is like from day 2, the second day she started, she was able to not pig out on the junk, like the food noise, thinking like, so these are really, really, really quite effective. Okay. What you were saying, Juliette, is the signaling. After a while you stop noticing. And that's because if we're amplifying the signal, that means the effect of the effect of the drug. Once that signal is no longer there, then people say it's pointless. I don't feel it anymore. I'm not losing any more weight. They don't feel any difference. And that's when
they get off.
That's when they get off.
Yeah.
Even before the doctor tells them they have to get off, right?
But when people, and this is something that I'm not quite sure what happens. There are 2 ways you can get off. You can stop cold turkey, or you
Which
can
you did.
you can stop gradually, right? And there must be an effect either way. When you stop cold turkey, this is how I look at it. If you're in a car, you're the driver and there are passengers in the car, you and the driver encounter a situation where you have to slam the brakes immediately, right? Everybody lurches forward because of that sudden impact, right? There's another situation where you're driving, you have to come to a stop at a stoplight or a thing, and there's a gradual mashing of the brakes. The effect is not that severe, right? Because the mind is prepared for that stop. It's the same thing that happens in the body.
Right.
When a person gets off of these medications immediately, stopping cold turkey, the body reacts differently than when they get off gradually, because with a gradually removal, the body has time to compensate for that.
And we know how amazing the body is.
So I think it's the same thing that happens.
Brilliant. You just quit that day. You just said, that's it.
Did you do that?
Yes and no, because there is doses. So I went from 2 to 7. I only changed up my dose once. It goes up to 15. So I only had to go to 7.5. And then we went back to 2. And then I quit. Just quit.
You mean when you switched to a different dose, did you have to stay on it for the week?
Yeah.
You'd stay on it for the week and then
for the month.
For the month. All right.
Because 1 pack is 4, so once every week.
Right.
And it's a month. Yeah.
So
but
it would take you at least 2 months to quit.
I'm sorry?
It would take you at least 2 months to quit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because he would have never let me quit cold turkey at 7. I don't believe so. But because when he said it was time to go down. Actually, I didn't ask. He suggested me, let's go down the dose now, and then
okay.
And eventually we stopped.
Juliette, a question for you. What do you say, having been on it and off, and you've experienced the whole conundrum? What do you say when you hear people saying, oh my God, no, it's like the vaccine. Why would you want to do this? You should never do this. You know what I mean? What do you say? What do you think? Is that fear mongering? Is it propaganda? What do you think?
I think they just didn't get informed too much, or they I was somebody who didn't want to do it at first because I've heard misinformation about it, and then when I've seen that it actually works, and my doctor would prescribe it to me and things like that, then I was like, okay, I can give it a try, and I'm glad I did. But I was somebody who didn't want to try it first.
Was your doctor a specialist or a family doctor?
Generalist, yeah.
Okay, he was.
Yeah. But also, there were new ones coming. Like, it was not as known as it was at the time that I tried.
Okay.
More people had tried it afterwards, so I was more confident in doing it since
Do you
all
have
the
friends?
results.
Do you know friends who are on it?
No, I do not, but all my friends says that they wish they could do it. Yes.
But guess what? So, you're going to be my coach because I am going to do it. Frederick and I had a big fight this week because I told him, I think I've made up my mind and I'm definitely going to do it. Well, it's still depending on price because in Canada, it's ridiculous as well as in the States, right? But
you know,
I'm still trying to see how I can get this cheap or free or something, right?
Just keep your mouth shut.
But I'm just saying, why would you do this? It didn't take the vaccine. So you're one of the folks that I think, even though we're doing the research, you're still so skeptical.
I just have my skepticism when it comes to medication that does that kind of alterations to the body. But that's me personally. Unless it's
something that they created that's alien to the body. This is something that the body produces itself, but it runs out. It's in short supply.
Right, but what they're putting into the body is a synthetic version of a natural thing. So the body is going to react differently, and for everyone, it's a different reaction. So for me,
Gary,
that fear of putting something into my system that I have no control once it's in, that is where I draw the line.
okay, Gary, I would love your take on this.
Well, it's a these drugs have been around for a long time, by the way.
Over 20 years.
Yeah. It's a resort that would help people if they don't have a lot of discipline and they have bad habits and all the other drugs aren't working.
Right.
If I was a doctor, I would prescribe it. Absolutely. But as we say, it wasn't made for weight loss, but that's a great side effect of it. So for sure.
And that's everything I've read attributes. Agrees with what you've just said. You've just explained it better than I could.
But I think you could do without it because you've demonstrated a very good.
I can't do without it.
No, you've demonstrated. Hello, how are you? So nice to see you.
Look who's here.
Granddaughter just walked.
Hiya.
Maya just came in. We're on the show, so you can say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, good. You look
Okay,
pretty.
we'll
All
talk
right.
to you.
We'll see you downstairs. We'll see you downstairs.
Yeah. What I was trying to say, Janet, you have demonstrated very good discipline.
For 3 days.
No, but that's good.
No,
but that's long for
it's
you.
long for me.
For you, that's long. So I'm saying just
Me too, for me too.
Well, I have 2 more days.
Let's go.
Okay, right
go
now,
along.
full disclosure.
Yes.
I was recently, about 2 months ago, my doctor suggested I take blood pressure medication because
2 months, is that long?
about 2 months. Yeah. And I have not wanted to do this. And he had you do the blood pressure for a week and then check it morning, noon, it's morning and night,
Yeah.
and bring it back to him. And I brought it to him, and he says, well, you really don't need blood pressure medication. But then when I stopped and just went back to not checking, every time I checked, it was high, and because Juliette, your grandmother, my mom, you know how she died. She died because of vascular dementia, which was a result of high blood pressure that went on unchecked, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And let me was thing. And so I am really concerned with, our family is going to be really concerned with blood pressure. So when I told him that, he says, okay. And he gave me a drug. It's one of these small pills, the tiny little pills, right? I researched this thing. When I heard the side effects, I said, oh my God, this can affect your liver, your kidneys. It has some benefit because it does lower your blood pressure, but it has so many other side effects. And what I realized is that these small pills are actually worse than something like the GLP-1 because they have no specific, they're not as specific as the Wegovy and these GLP-1 drugs,
Okay.
right? So when you take a blood pressure or a cholesterol or one of those other pills that they give us, it will help with the blood pressure, but it's going to do because the body cannot, it's not specific enough.
Mhm.
But with the GLP-1 drugs, they say these drugs have the lowest side effects of any medication, especially when used in microdoses of about 1/4 to 1/8 the regular dose. What dosage were you on? You said 2 and then it went different.
Yeah, I went to 2.5 to 7.5.
Okay, so they really started you was 2 point whatever. That was considered a microdose or just a low dose?
I think it was a low dose.
Just a low
I'm not
dose.
sure.
If
They
it was
didn't
lower
say.
than whatever.
It was the starter. Yeah.
Okay, because this is the other thing. The little pills that people take for blood pressure and cholesterol, those pills, anybody can take them. They give the same medication, the same amount of dose to everybody across the border. The body doesn't work like that. Everybody doesn't have the same body, right?
Body type. Mhm.
Yeah.
With these drugs,
Yeah.
they're specific, and you have to get it from your doctor because he has to do tests and they have to know what your prior conditions are and they have to know your correct dosage, and it's very unique and
Yep.
it's specific to individuals. So it's not just a one cookie cutter
It's
type.
almost like
Yeah.
surgical dosage of.
So these
You
are
need to be followed.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually better.
You want to check some email at this time?
We'll check some emails in a minute. What time is it?
Okay.
Yeah,
It's after 6.
okay. But some of the benefits, when I just looked at a list of benefits, psoriasis, can you believe it? Psoriasis, people with a skin issue, right? It helps. Arthritis. And there was a specialist I listened to, the same lady, McCall McPherson. She was an endocrinologist. And for people who are hypothyroid, that's when they gain weight, and it doesn't matter what they do. It's an hormonal imbalance and they gain weight. She says it's one of the drugs that helps. There's hardly anything on the planet that will help with hypothyroidism. And these drugs help. Autoimmune disease, dementia, right? 13% reduction in breast cancer risk. It will get rid of visceral fat, and just generally, it will improve long-term health benefits. What can be so wrong? Juliette, I tell you, I saw you, and then I saw you months after, and I was amazed at the change. So don't go gaining all of that back.
No, right?
All right.
What about heart risk?
Yeah. Do you want to do that after then? After the
Yeah,
emails?
we'll come back and touch on it.
Okay, go ahead with your emails.
Let me get to the email as quickly as I can here. And we have one from hold on. Boy, got quite a bit here.
You know what? Last week somebody had sent one of the last ones that came in after the show, I think. And this person said it was Helga. And she said, oh, wow, thanks for this show. Now I can eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. Thanks for the tip.
No.
Juliette, please help. Why is that? Why is that? I know she's been tongue in cheek, but that's exactly
What's to curb your appetite? Yeah.
right. But no, what she's saying is you can just eat and eat and eat, pig out, and then take
And
the
then
drug,
take the
and then
drug.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's saying, right?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
try it. Here's one from Craig, and Craig says, "Hello, Coxes. This is an amazing show. So many folks need this information. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for that. That's why we're doing it today." Grace says, "These drugs are miracle drugs. I'm very surprised that these drugs were not developed sooner. Thanks for sharing." Well, it's been around for 20 plus years. It's just getting popular now because
Best is yet to come.
Yeah.
Because
for a while.
it doesn't matter who you listen to. Because, on WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, on the University of YouTube, you have to be careful. Because you get the fake people and you get the ones who don't know anything. And you get the Mayo Clinic and you get some really good doctors who know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I try to listen to the more medical side of it and it goes over my head, right? But for the most part, I believe the consensus on these drugs is that it's a good thing and we shouldn't fear it. It's not like the big controversy with the vaccines,
Yeah.
the coronavirus vaccines.
Also, what helped me do it is that I knew that I could stop. It was a factor for me. Like if it was a drug that I would have to take all my life, I would have never taken it because I'm not
Right.
interested in that. But as I knew that I could stop whenever I wanted, that made me want to try it also.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What's the next email there?
The next email is Janet. From Kim. Janet, what is a peptide? What's your short answer for what's a peptide?
Not a doctor, but just to give you my understanding of it, it's like an amino acid,
Yes.
right? And they're building blocks for protein, and that's what I know about it. It's a small chain of amino acids. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah, it's like they help with the signaling in the body. So they actually tell your body what to do. And there are many different types.
Yeah.
All right. And I think at some point I think we should do a show on just peptides.
They basically tell you when you're hungry and when you're full, and
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what these drugs are mimicking, basically.
Okay, Larry says Fred needs a libido boost.
How does he know?
That's done. So he should be on this. He should be on.
That's a great laugh, man. That's a great laugh.
Larry, guess what? I'm going to agree with you. Oh, dear. Okay. And Sue says, scary. Sue says, scary. Where is it? This stuff is way too good to be true. It's kind of scary. And you know what? That's exactly right. Because the results have been so phenomenal, and everybody, I mean, we're talking about thousands of people worldwide that are on these drugs and feel comfortable with it. And because the side effects are so low, it's actually becoming scary when people think that it's too good to be true. Usually it's too good to be true.
Maybe that's
But in
one of the
this
reasons
case,
why the cost is so high. You know,
Yeah.
can you imagine if it was cheaper?
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
I would
Everybody
say
here.
it's not an entire miracle drug because you still have to work out. Because what
Yeah.
happened to me, I did not work out and I lost weight so fast. And what happens is that you have loose skin.
Yeah, muscle
You
mass.
need muscle, you need
Yeah.
some type of stuff. It's not gonna just you take the shots and then you just do whatever. You still
right.
have work to do.
Yeah.
No
And
free ride. No free ride.
you
And
still have to take some vitamins that you're gonna lose because you're not getting them. But there's still some stuff, but it's still the best thing I've heard so far for helping for weight loss.
Is this an OTC stuff? And that is from Alexis? No, it's not. It's not
no,
over the
definitely.
counter. Definitely you have to have a prescription, and it's it's not an inexpensive drug either. Right. So
Right. I was trying to get to with what you need to do, Juliette. You mentioned
the exercise.
not just the exercise, that's one part, but the diet, your nutrition.
Oh yes,
Vitamins.
definitely. Yes.
You really, because you're eating less.
Yeah.
Now
So you're
gonna
not getting
make
the nutrients.
sure
Yeah.
Exactly.
eat the right foods. You've
Yeah.
got to have the proteins.
Yeah.
And I have something.
And if you turned off from food, that could be a downside.
Yeah.
Right. Because things that you should be eating on a regular basis, like your leafy vegetables and the protein to give the body the energy to go
All the nutrients, the probiotics,
and the other thing is your muscle mass. That's one of the biggest things.
Yes. Oh,
and
yeah.
not just general muscle mass, but lean muscle mass. And we did talk about that last week. So one of the things we should be doing, like when you're actually exercising, you should be actually doing resistance training. So Juliette, I hope you have started that.
Yeah.
Of course I did.
Good. I'm picking on you, right? Resistance training. And you need to do at least 15 to 18 reps. You need to use your upper body, right? The upper body, the pushing, the triceps, etc.
Yeah.
Squats. I think squats is the worst exercise in the world, but apparently it's one of the best things in the world for you.
Yeah.
And I also mentioned to you off air about creatine monohydrate. And Frederick, perhaps, I don't know. I started taking that this week and I bought it. You haven't tried it yet.
I tried it a couple
You
of
tried
times.
it a couple of times, but you need to do it
I don't
every
remember.
day.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's either that or a protein powder.
Especially as you get older, you need to be taking the creatine.
Because that is good for your muscles.
Yeah.
It will supply energy to the muscles.
Yeah.
And it will make you want to work out. It will be easier. You can do those reps, right? And then you're going to recover faster. So that's also something that we should incorporate. When I heard about this, I thought everybody should be taking it. Because, I think some people can be allergic to it, but you should check up as usual before taking anything. Check with your doctor.
Remember, we're not doctors, folks.
Then it's supposed to be good. And it's something you take 5 grams a day. Because what happens is with older people, one of the biggest things with older people is this thing they call sarcopenia, right? Sarcopenia. And it's the gradual loss of muscle mass.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that would perhaps sway my decision. Because once you're over my age, over 70 plus, the strength, with some osteo and all this going on, you can, things, as you get older, what are the things that people struggle with? My girlfriend,
opening a bottle.
yes, my
If you're
girlfriend,
taking
Joints.
medication, the difficulty of opening in those medications.
fractures,
Yeah.
you fall down. My gosh, like those things, I'm not looking forward to those things. Low muscle
Vision.
strength, right? What's your next email?
Here's one from Carl. So there are some possible serious side effects of this drug. Well, it should be these drugs.
Yes.
Yes, there will be side effects. How serious they are, it's usually listed.
Blindness. Talk about
Yeah,
blindness.
blindness is one of the things that we came across as we did this research, and it's a very, very serious condition that can occur once you start taking these medications, especially if you're diabetic. It could, it could
Right.
increase the risk. But what happens is the
Just before you continue, one of the emails we got last week that we didn't
Yeah.
get to was from Lenny, and he said there are side effects to these drugs.
Yeah.
My wife started to lose.
Oh yeah, that's the guy.
insight.
Yes.
The doctors took her off Ozempic and it came back. So watch out.
Yeah.
So
Now, this is one of the concerns that's starting to come up around these medications, especially Ozempic and Wegovy,
which is Wegovy is Ozempic by a
different name, right?
name.
Now, there have been reports of a rare eye condition, and this is a mouthful. It's non-arteritic anterior ischemic optic neuropathy.
Wow.
Right? That's a mouthful.
Neon.
That's the acronym for it. It's a sudden loss of blood flow to the optic nerve. And this could lead to partial vision loss. Now, it usually happens in one eye, right? And it could, move over to the other eye. So if you find yourself on these when you're taking these medications, you're experiencing shadows or blurriness, blurred vision, you need to see your health professional as soon as possible. So be very careful that this is just awareness. They're still doing research, because what happened is a lot of people that are taking these drugs have underlying conditions like diabetes or other things that can lead to vision loss.
Yeah.
So
on its own.
On its own. So they're not sure as yet, based on the evidence that they're getting, they're not sure if the drug is the major cause of it or it's the underlying condition.
Or the
Nutriment.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So it's a number of things, but eventually the evidence, the science is going to prove one or the other. So
Donna,
be careful.
Yes, Donna loved she said, very good example, your explanation by Fred. I'm not sure exactly which one. Probably about peptides. I'm not sure.
No, it's probably about the car.
Yeah.
That analogy that I give. Yeah.
Gail? Gail says, so this is injectable. Is it hard to do? How big is the needle? Where do you inject yourself? Thanks. Julia, this is your question.
Yep, I can definitely answer that.
Yes.
I was terrified of using a needle because it's a needle. But so I let my husband do it the first 2 times. And then when the first time he injected the needle, it's around the belly button. All around the belly button, anywhere. Oh, I never do they tell you never do the same side 2 weeks in a row. Anyways, but then I saw that the needle was so small and that it was not as big as I thought. So actually it was fine. So the first time I had to do it myself because he said eventually I'm not gonna be there all the time. So what I did, I got ready and then I just didn't look. And then it's like when they take my
Oops.
blood. They take my
Right.
blood. I said, I don't want to know what, just do it. I'm not looking,
Yeah.
and it just
Mhm.
goes. But then eventually I said, because you still have to look, you still have to just take a deep breath, and
Yeah.
but it's very tiny. It's a tiny
Okay.
Like
needle,
it's
Of course,
really.
now it's
stick.
there. Now it's available in pill forms. They don't even have to do a needle. And
Yes.
with the injections, I wanted to ask something. You
Mhm.
have to pinch. You have to pinch and make sure you get into the muscle, or you just inject. How is it
You
just?
just inject to clean it,
Mhm.
the area with the alcohol wipe, and you just inject. That's it.
And do they give you lots of needles because you're not supposed to use the same needle twice?
Oh no.
It comes with
Only use it
It comes
once.
with
Yes,
enough.
and they comes with multiple needles
Okay.
and more needles because it's always by 4 per month. But they give you more because one needle could break or something happen. So yeah. But never reuse a needle or keep it
Yes,
for
right,
later or no,
right,
no, no.
right.
Say one and
Now,
done.
Joanne wrote a funny email. She said, hello to all. Janet, what do you expect? High blood pressure? Stop jumping out of airplanes. He says, "Ha, only kidding." Yep. And I told her she should hear what your mom does, right?
Yep.
Oh dear, that was funny, Joanne. And we'll after this we'll go back to the show, right? Janet, health problems, forget that stuff. Drink heavily. Try that too.
Drink what? Heavily?
Drink heavily.
Drink heavily.
So, and she doesn't mean water. Oh.
No, she means milk.
That's why Queen Elizabeth died so late.
What's that? What did you say, Julia?
Apparently, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England, she died so late because she was drinking alcohol every day. But
Oh yeah.
I'm not telling anybody to drink alcohol every day.
But
We're
look at
not
the
all
French.
crazy.
Look at the French. What do you guys
Yes,
do? You guys
we
drink
drink
way
wine.
more, right? And eat baguettes. You do the two things that's killing North Americans, the drinking and the bread.
They
And
smoke and drink wine
suffering from that.
and
Because they have
complain.
many steps. The steps.
It's the steps.
Everything you should not do.
Okay, so we'll get back to the show. We were talking before about the nutrients, and we're saying that you have to make sure you keep up
Make
with
sure you
your
take your
proteins.
nutrients. Yes.
So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you should actually have 100 grams of proteins per day.
Yeah.
That's about 30 grams per meal.
Make sure you take your magnesium. Make sure you take your zinc. Very important.
Probiotics,
Yeah.
prebiotics.
Healthy fats,
Yep.
and stay hydrated. What about
Yes.
coffee? Was that a problem?
So I don't drink coffee, but
Oh,
I definitely should have drinking more water. I
yeah.
think it did makes me a little thirsty though, but
Okay.
I usually don't drink much water, which is very bad. So you have to force yourself to drink water.
I don't know if I asked you this last week, but while you're on the medication, did you experience any kind of difficult bowel movements or anything like that?
I don't recall.
Because that's
I
supposed to be one of
was
the side effects, like
Yeah.
constipation.
I was definitely not constipated
Oh
at
yeah, you
all.
mentioned
No.
that sometimes it was the opposite effect for you.
Exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
But no, I did not
Right.
have any
But which is
constipation.
lucky, right?
Yeah.
Which is great. Because
Yeah.
to me, being constipated would compound the problem.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
why
It
are
couldn't
we with that
doesn't
gut stuff?
evacuate.
You're not getting
Right?
anything out,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Juliet, do you think this is a tool? Like, is this just a short-term tool or a long-term dependency?
It is definitely a tool, but yes, you just can't abuse it. It's not gonna work for life, so you still have to do your part. But I
Yeah.
think it's a good, like we said last week, a good jump start
Yeah. And that
to
is what I believe it is. It's a jump start.
yeah.
And Frederick, for you, do you think we're addressing the root cause of weight and health challenges, or are we just managing these symptoms in another way? Are we addressing the problem, or is it just another thing where
It depends.
Yeah.
Because if your weight gain is an environmental issue, then these drugs are not going to help in that case. Right?
Because once you stop, you'll just go back to where you were.
If you stay in that environment, you're going to go back to.
And you know why? Because basically, these medications, they work with your body's signaling systems, right? The amino acids that we said, right? Because that's what peptides are. So when they're removed quickly, those signals will end just as quickly. But hopefully, you would have learned some good habits in the meantime, right?
Yeah,
because the less I ate, the less I was hungry. That's how it goes. And that's even without medicine. The less you eat, the less you're hungry, the more you're full. So it definitely taught me to do that.
Because, it says 3 weeks before you can form a habit, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
that's the hardest part.
For the first time in my life, 3 days, and I've been able to do 3 days. So, folks, I'm going to report back next week.
I'm impressed.
To see whether Frederick makes bread or bakes banana bread or goes out and buy 3 more bottles of wine and
I just have to test discipline.
I'm going to be disciplined.
I'm testing discipline. That's all I'm doing by doing these things.
Okay.
If you set yourself a goal, I guess it helps.
My goal is 10 pounds. Like, how hard could that be?
No. I go for the day. Today, I'm going to have a little bit of this, but I can have that.
Okay.
Maybe that would be, I don't know.
One last thing I wanted to say is something that they're looking at is the gallbladder. People on these drugs have to be careful with their gallbladder because over time,
they can change.
Less.
And it changes the production of bile. Right. Because you're losing weight, very quickly. So the gallbladder may not be able to empty regularly as it should. And that could lead to gallstones, because if the gallbladder is not emptying, then the bile crystallizes, and that could lead to gallstones. And
you know what? Losing weight. Anyway, if you do it too quickly, with or without these drugs, it can be an issue for the gallbladder. But Fred, just before we end, which is like in like a minute, you have a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is what I think, Juliette. I really honestly believe that the use of this will be my motive. This will be my mantra, right? That using this as a temporary enhancement to overcome my addiction to food. I am going to say I'm a little bit not seriously addicted, but somewhat addicted, and not to use I don't want this to be my new normal. I want to try it for 3 months, 90 days. With a low dose, and that is going to just kickstart my metabolism, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to check in. You said your cravings. I'm going to see how that goes, and then I'm going to say I want to cycle off. I don't want to be on this more than 3 months, right? And hopefully by then my brain will have rewired, and I will not go back to my old habits of stealing Frederick's cookies that he hides in the glove compartment of the car.
There you have it, folks. I'm not the one that eat the cookies, okay? Juliette, we want to thank you once again for taking the time to join us on the Liquid Green Health Show. It has been a pleasure. We really enjoyed your presence and your company. And as usual,
thank you.
We will be in touch with you. We're family, so we're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Frederick, sorry. Gary, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say one thing. There is a book called Weight Less by Dr. Salas Wayland. And apparently it's one of the best things you can read on this issue. All right.
Folks, this has been another edutainment edition of the Liquid Green Health Show, bringing you real conversations for real people, focusing on the mind, your body, and of course, your overall well-being. So until next Sunday, same time, same place, like, share, subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, we are the Coxes reminding you, let's stay healthy on Reality Radio 101.
Thank you for listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts Fred and Janet Cox right here on Reality Radio 101.